What's happening, my friends? Welcome to another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or even the latest buzz, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Once again, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to tune in to the Arrington Gavin Show. I am your host, your homie, Arrington Gavin. Be sure to follow us on our social media platforms. I'm over here having a wardrobe disaster. I'm making sure the strings are even. I'm kind of OCD with that. I'm wearing like a jogging like a sweatsuit, and I want to make sure the strings are even. That's another conversation for another time. But yes, be sure to follow us on all of our social media handles: Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, X at the Arrington Gavin Show, as well as Substack. You can also subscribe to our streaming channel, our YouTube channel, our Smooth Club Media, or you can find us on Rumble, as well as you can tune into the program via podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, and as well as our radio affiliate, WDJY FM 99.1 FM, straight talk out of Dallas, Georgia. So be sure to tune in. We air weeknights, all right, weeknights. But our radio affiliate at Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. That's right, we're late night, baby. So be sure to continue to support and tune into the program and share amongst your friends, family, strangers. I truly appreciate that. Guys, on today's show, we're going to talk a little bit about what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk a little bit about everything, stuff in the world of entertainment, stuff in the world of politics, and maybe even some stuff in the world of sports. So I'm excited for today's show, as I am on every single show. Hope you all are having a great evening. Excuse me. I had an awesome day. I had the opportunity to visit my alma mater, Norfolk Christian High School. I mentioned on the last show that I was going to be taking a trip. Really, I say taking a trip. I still live in the within the maybe 30 minutes from it, 45 minutes from it. But I have not stepped foot in my high school since 2013. So since the year 2013. So I was very honored. I received a call from a faculty member who's also an old friend and classmate of mine that we graduated in the same year. And she contacted me because they have a magazine that goes out to families of Norfolk Christian alumni, and so it's just a way of staying in tune, staying in touch, and following up with past alums. So I was honored when they contacted me and said they would like to do an article or just just showcase where is Arrington now, and just write a little bit about me. So I was really honored, excited to step foot back at Norfolk Christian. I haven't been there in a long time. A lot of my teachers had retired. There were maybe just a few that was still some of the longest running serving faculty members there. So I got to see one of my favorite history teacher. And it was a great reunion, man. Great reunion. I think the appointments, man, started like around like 11:30 a.m. I didn't leave until almost 2. I mean, it was just, we were talking for hours and just kind of walking around, seeing how everything is going, and it's going. It's an amazing school for anyone out there who is either currently living in Virginia, specifically the Hampton Roads area, or is thinking about moving to Hampton Roads and you're looking for a great private school for your kids. I highly recommend Norfolk Christian High School. Yeah, great school. So that happened. What else occurred? What else happened without that day? Because it was a lot. It was a lot of happening. A lot of stuff happening in that period. Well, actually, I wanted to ask you guys, what's your take on reunions, right? School reunions, high school reunions. I won't say like college reunions, because college really doesn't have reunions besides homecoming, right? But homecoming, I mean, it's amongst everybody. Like you're having fun, everybody's having a good time. It's different from an actual high school class reunion. So like, what's your take with high school class reunions? Do you enjoy them? Do you look forward to them? Do you dread them because it's like, hey, look, I haven't seen this person in a long time. You might spark old flings with with old crushes back in high school, or you run into that a person that used to bully you back in the day, or you might have been the bully, and now people are waiting to be like, I can't wait until I meet this mother. He ruined my childhood, man. Ruined my childhood. Ruined my teen years. Or is it just a fun time just to reunite with friends? Because I will say I'm back and forth with reunions. I enjoy them, but I am serious about, okay, I gotta look good. I gotta take care of myself. Let me start exercising now. Cause I looked at my senior picture and I look at myself now. I'm like, ooh, slight difference. Like, for example, up top, the hair is gone. All right, the hair is gone. Um, Definitely put on a few pounds since then. But got a little grays in the beard too and stuff. So I'm just like, wow, so much has changed, man. I don't like getting old. I don't like it. I don't like it. I want to be like Peter Pan. I want to stay a kid all my life. Well, really not a kid. Maybe I at least want to stay like in my 20s, early 20s. Um, but yeah, what's your thoughts on that, guys? What's your thoughts on that? Look, go ahead and we'll actually put a poll in once we finish this episode. I'll have it uh on our podcast platforms as well as on our social medias. So again, what's your take on high school reunions? Do you love them? Do you hate them? And if so, if you hate them, why do you hate them? What's the dislikes you like about them, and what is the likes that you enjoy about them? Love to get your thoughts on that. Also, guys, would like to thank some of our proud supporters of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Ingenious Gin. Ingenious Gin is a Black-owned, veteran-owned spirit brand with the unique spin of the original gin. Ingenious Gin is the go-to spirit. When you're going through a rough time, or even when you're celebrating. I highly recommend Ingenious Gin. Now, myself being a bourbon and whiskey connoisseur, I've never been into gin until I had a taste of Ingenious Gin. So again, I will highly recommend this amazing brand with the unique complexion too, because it doesn't even look like the original colored gin. Gin is normally clear. This is a rose gold complexion gin. So be sure to visit your local ABC stores or spirit stores, wherever alcohol in your area is sold. Go visit their website at www.ingeniousgin.com. Again, that's www.ingeniousgin.com. You have to be 21 and over, 21 or over, in order to purchase this bottle. Please do me a favor, my friends. Drink responsibly. All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have our fun fact of the day, and then we'll get going with our topics. So don't go anywhere, my friends. You are tuning into the Arrington Gavin Show. What is happening, my friends? What is happening? Oh, hold on. Let's see here. What are we doing? Oh, fun fact of the day, obviously. Give me 1 second. Let me put that up for you. Yes, we're gonna get it going with our fun fact of the day, our tradition that we normally do here on the program. I'm over here multitasking, by the way, because I'm hosting a red carpet event. Um, I'm hosting a red carpet event for give me 1 second. Let's see here. Where was I going? Okay, so yeah, I'm hosting a red carpet event later this evening. Um, the Emerge Awards and Premiere Gala. I'm very excited. This is my third time hosting a red carpet there. Shout out to my dear friend, Miss Tiffany Boyle, who I've had on the show many times. She was actually just on the show on election night. She serves as Commissioner of Revenue for the City of Newport News, and she is a vice chair with a foundation called Emerge, which is an amazing, amazing foundation. It showcases all of the innovators and trailblazers in our community in the worlds of fashion, entertainment, um, um, philanthropic work, business, and entrepreneurship. They work with youth. I mean, it's an amazing organization. She also is one of the co-hosts of a weekly radio show called the Emerge Radio Show, and they're just doing some great stuff. Doing some great stuff in the doing some great stuff in the in the community. So it's funny because I literally, guys, while I'm talking, I'm getting all these text messages right now. I'm like, people, geez Louise. So anyways, we want to get it going with our fun fact. This fun fact is kind of a bland one, by the way. Today's fun fact, I want you guys to know that only 5% of the ocean has been explored. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that. It says here that the vast majority of the ocean remains unknown and uncharted. Now, this is according to current scientific understanding. So, hey, you learn something new every day. Again, I'll repeat that. Only 5% of the ocean has been explored. Quite interesting. Let's get it going with some of our stories. I want to talk about. So I was talking about on the last show that Denzel Washington has announced that there will be 2 more Equalizers in the works. Okay, the hit film Equalizer, where Denzel plays this, I mean, really heroic badass, right? People that are getting mistreated or abused. He finds the bad guys and he gets equal with them. Point blank period. He gets equal with them, and he's a guy that is very highly trained killer. All right, and the first one was amazing, the second one was even better, the third one was dope, but you really thought, okay, it's time to stop it after 3, because Denzel, you are in your 70s, and so you're getting older, and you're talking about 2 films. So 2 films, it takes like what, 6 months to do one whole film, and then it takes another 6 months as far as promoting it. So by the time it goes out, you'll be pushing 80 years old, and you're talking about a 4th and a 5th one. I hope they stop at 5. I hope they don't do this like a oh Lord, like a Fast and Furious, because I can't stand those long ass trilogy films. I can't stand it. So yes, I mentioned that, and also I want to talk about this. So a famous YouTuber by the name of Rosanna Pansino had recently mentioned in the public on social media, and she might have been interviewed as well, or on her episode, on her one of her podcast episodes. And let me see if I can find the graphic for those who are watching us from our streaming platforms. Let me see, where you at? There we go. So she had mentioned that she smokes cannabis grown from her father's ashes. Ugh. Ugh. That's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about that. I remember years back, I remember hearing a story about one of the Rolling Stones members, Keith Richards. I think he had smoked his parent he smoked somebody's ashes right? Because he just, I mean, those guys did so many drugs. It's surprising how they're all still alive, right? They're all probably still into the hard party scene, but they're old, they're cool, and they're, everybody still enjoys watching them. But it says here that Rosanna says her father, Papa Pizza, who died of leukemia 5 years ago, asked that she and family members take his ashes, mix it in with some soil, and grow a marijuana plant and smoke him. Now they're doing that. They're doing just that. Says here, before he passed, he told me and my mom that he would like us to do with his ashes. At first, my mom was a little bit hesitant. As she explained, she thought this is kind of hippie. People are going to judge us, but as time goes on, we just really think that it's the right time to do what Dad wanted and to honor him the way he wanted. You're stuck. You're really stuck between that, right? Because it's like it was your father's dying wish, one of your loved ones' dying wish. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to smoke human bought up in some, and now you're made into this, and now you're getting high off your daddy. Like, it just doesn't that sound weird? I'm getting high off my dad. Like, it just seems weird. No disrespect. No disrespect. She is a very accomplished woman. I've never heard of her until this story. Again, she's a famous YouTube baking influencer. So she's one person I guess will never see this coming, but it shows that, hey, look, even like the sweetheart bakers can be kind of interesting. And it says here she has more than 14.6 million followers. Wow. Her podcast is called Ridiculous Podcast. Ridiculous Ridiculous Podcast. Interesting. The blunt we smoked was delicious. It tastes so good, she said. That just sounds weird. Who real name is Rosanna or Redon, declared after taking several hits of the joint, the first of which prompt a lengthy fit of coughing. I'm sorry, y'all. This is some weird ass ish. All right. I'm sorry. This is weird. This is weird. It gets weirder and weirder. Okay, it says here that her sister and mother joined her on camera to toast his memory with remnants of a bottle of whiskey he brewed. Why couldn't y'all just drink the whiskey? And couldn't that just keep that cool? But you want to do the smoking, the ashes, put in some weed. Like, first of all, in the words of Stephen A. Smith's, stay off the weed. Stay off the weed. I'm a proponent, for those that if it helps you for medical reasons and this and the other. But let's be honest. Some folks just like to just abuse it. All right. You do. I could be driving my car in the morning and I'm like, it's 7:30 in the morning. Who was out here lighting up in 7:30 in the morning? Like, what? I mean, first thing, I remember when I was in college, I could smell it on one of my 8 a.m. class. I'm like, goodness gracious. But yeah, what's your thoughts on this, guys? Would you smoke one of your loved ones, one of your loved ones that has passed on, if their dying wish was to, hey, look, I want to be cremated and I want you to smoke my ashes in some form of way, or even put my ashes in a cake and eat it? I want you to do something. Like, what is going through your mind? This is for all the listeners and viewers out there of all ethnicities and nationalities, because I already know Black community is probably like saying, oh hell no, we ain't doing that. They're gonna be buried 6 feet under. We ain't doing that. See, that's that. That's that other stuff. See, they be doing too much. They be doing too much. Okay, that's what they said. They be doing too much. They be doing so much. So much. Oh God, let me digress from this, man. This is just whew. I know I'm starting y'all off with some weird stuff. I know. That's what I do. That's what I do here. Can't help it. Let's go ahead and move on to another interesting story. Okay, this is a good one. So let's talk about robots, guys. Let's talk about robots because this has just been announced. This is happening in the major leagues. Just they're just testing it out. Uh, you know how a lot of folks say robots are taking over our world, like it's like technology this, technology that. Before you know it, there's gonna be no jobs for anybody in America, and it most likely could be true because one thing you've noticed, like sometimes in grocery stores that that you have mostly self checkout machines than you do people behind a register, which mm, I'm not too much of a fan of it, but I do appreciate it if I just have like one small thing and I could just walk right in, walk right out. You know what I mean? Because I hate waiting in lines. I'm pretty sure everybody does. And but when you have a lot of stuff, it's like you don't want to try and scan all that stuff. It's pretty annoying, and it's for those who are much up there in age that are not familiar with how the technology work. It can be a handful. Now, what I do like, they do have somebody that is uh what's the word I'm looking for? That is watching over a lot of the machines while people use it. For one, they don't want to make sure people doesn't steal. Two, they have some strict rules. So like you can't be you can't just purchase, say, a bottle of, a bottle or any kind of alcohol from self checkout without still getting an ID scanned by a an employee there. So I mean, they have some restrictions with it and some safe rules, and it works pretty cool. I bring all that because this article reported by NBC Sports saying that the MLB will test robot umpires at 13 spring training ballparks hosting 19 teams. Thought this was pretty interesting. And this is actually just a soundbite from an interview with an expert on News Nation. Let me play that for you, and we'll talk on the other side about that.
What are your thoughts on how the league plans to use these potentially?
I like that they can test it out before making the rules set in stone. But at the end of the day, the players, the coaches, MLB, they want the calls to be right. They want to see improvement throughout the umpires. I think there's about a third of the umpires that really do a good job behind home plate, calling balls and strikes, and truly try to get better. But a majority of them right now have not. So MLB is trying to clean this up as much as they can. Being a home plate umpire is a very, very hard job. And as a player, you want to be able to communicate and understand where the zone is and all that. And I think now it's gotten a little too, the individual battles have really, the egos have gotten in the way with some guys. So I think they need to find that happy medium to get the call right. But at the same time, you don't want to take the human element out of the game. And it's been out of the game for quite a few years now on the bases.
So I'll be honest. You know how I think about this this new idea of robot umpires? Think of it as if you are calling I don't know, you're calling to because you have a complaint. If you want to talk to higher uppers, and if you're having an issue with I don't know, your phone service, or you're thinking about going up a level with your TV providers or anything like that. Whenever you're dealing with something, they always say, if you have any issues, contact our help desk or contact this and any other. I hear this a lot from everybody of all ages. I would rather, if I have a complaint, I want to talk with a person. I don't want to talk with I don't want to deal with this via email. I want to talk with the person. Most likely, I would like to meet with the person in person. I hate doing it over the phone because then you're put on hold. People on that phone, they have a script in front of them. I mean, it's kind of like the same old that occurs with all companies, right? So think about this. If you have an issue, you're in the game, you have an issue, you rather talk to a person about it in person, and you got to talk with a robot. I mean, God forbid the robot wasn't fully charged, because you know how long a baseball game is, right? So God forbid it hasn't been charged, it's fully charged, or it's on battery and the batteries go dead. I mean, I will are you team full electric vehicles? Are you hybrid? Are you gas? Like, what's your take? Because I can't do the full electric. I love technology, but to a certain extent, I don't want technology to run the world. You still want to get a copy of something, a paper copy of something. You don't want to just have it sent, in an email or digital disc. No, I want an actual hand copy. I still want paper. I still want paper. Goodness gracious. Let me read a little bit about this story. So it says here, as I mentioned earlier, Major League Baseball will be testing robot umpires as part of a challenge system during spring training at 13 ballparks hosting 19 teams, which could lead to a regular season use in 2026. Now, MLB has been experimenting with the automated ball strike system in the minor leagues since 2019, but is still working on the shape of the strike zone. Now, an agreement for big league use would have to be reached with the major league baseball umpires association, which whose collective bargaining agreement expires December 1. All right, so that's coming up very soon. I would be interested in having it in 26. Baseball commissioner Rob Manfrey said after an owners meeting, we do have a collective bargaining obligation there. That's obviously a term and condition of employment. We're going to have to work through the issues as well. It will be interesting, guys. I mean, it doesn't hurt to try it out. It doesn't hurt to try it out. I think it's good that leagues now are always growing, especially sports leagues. They're growing as far as with ideas. They know that so much new technology is going to be presented in front of them in order to make the league easier, better, faster, more durable. But again, robot umpires means less jobs for guys that want to become umpires, right? So that's taking away jobs rather than providing them. So, I don't know. I really don't know about it. I don't think I'm good. I don't think I'm a fan of that idea. It is interesting, but I don't think I'm a fan of that. My friends, let's take a quick breather. We'll be back with more here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Don't go anywhere and do not change that dial. What is happening, my friends? Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin Show. I'm your host, your friend, Arrington Gavin. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show. I truly appreciate that. On our next story, my boy Stephen A, man, he always has an opinion. Hey, just like me, I always enjoy it. I always look forward to hearing his take on things. He has shared his opinions on an issue that had occurred recently in the NFL during the season. So there have been players that have been voicing their thoughts on the recent election, getting their take in politics, right? And so it all started really with Bosa. I believe his name was it Nick Bosa? Was it Nick Bosa? He was I was one of the Bosa brothers, because there's two of them. He, after a game, plays for San Francisco 49ers, defensive end. After the game, he was rocking a Make America Great Again hat. He kind of snuck behind the quarterback while he was getting interviewed and, like, pointed at the hat and then bounced. That's all he did, right? So apparently that was against a rule in the NFL, and he had got fined like $11,000. Now, since that moment occurred, there's been a GoFundMe page created by mostly conservative groups and people that are in agreements with Bosa, and they've raised up, probably well over the price, so he can pay that, so he wouldn't have to, that fine wouldn't really have to come out of his pocket, or if it did came out of his pocket, he got it back in return, which, hey, is a thoughtful gesture, right? You don't have to agree with his political stance, but at the end of the day, they are public figures with the fan base, right? People look up to them, and they represent a city. Sometimes they represent the whole state. So I don't think it's an issue with players voicing their thoughts on on issues that happen outside the field. All athletes do it pretty much all the time. So let me read you this article. This was reported by Fox News, and it says Stephen A. Smith quotes he's pissed off that the NFL addressed Trump dance celebrations, blames woke culture. Let me read a little more about this. It says here, after numerous NFL players pulled out President-elect Donald Trump's viral YMCA dance, when he's doing his little the league said none of those players would be fined, all right, for the dance. Now, the announcement came on the coattails of San Francisco 49ers defensive end. Okay, I was right. Nick Bosa being fined over $11,000 for wearing a MAGA hat, which stands for Make America Great Again. However, ESPN personality Stephen A. Smith was annoyed at the league for even addressing the new gridiron celebrations. He said, here's why I'm pissed off, that the NFL had to even issue a statement about it, because celebrations usually don't warrant that. He said on his YouTube show, the Stephen A. Smith Show, it doesn't require a response from the league. So why was it necessary this time? You know why? Because we got a bunch of people still living with their heads in the cloud, acting like they get to protest every little damn thing. This is America. Donald Trump won the election, rather convincingly, I might add. Smith later blamed woke and cancel culture for the NFL, feeling that they needed to discuss the celebrations and credit those for Trump's victory. And there's another quote. And why am I ticked off? Because it was emblematic of the climate that we've been living in for years now, which is why I believe Donald Trump was really elected. Woke culture, cancel culture, or oh hell yes, that played a role. When you got people around wondering whether or not they're echoing the right pronoun, wondering whether or not they was gonna cost them their job or be PC because, God forbid, your opinion is different than the average folk walking around America, Lord knows that would happen to you. That's what America regrets too, he said. He then went on. He also made note that the UFC president, Dana White, didn't address mixed martial arts John Jones during the dance after his victory with the Trump attendance. Now, I'm going to stop right there. Stephen A. Smith, I feel like that's a bad example to bring up Dana White, because, again, Dana White is a surrogate to Donald Trump. He's always been a huge, loud and proud, unapologetic supporter of Donald Trump. He brings him in front row seats or cage side seats every pay-per-view. So of course he won't say anything. He encouraged him to say that. Hell, he probably give him a little bonus the more they rub up to Donald Trump. Now, it went viral showing another popular fighter that kind of skipped past Trump and Elon, which I thought was pretty, for one, he probably didn't really know who they were. And on top of that, if he did, kudos for him, because he's saying, look, I'm sticking with my views. I don't care for you. I prefer not shaking hands with them. I'm not going to get criticized for my boss. If I do, then that's a shame. But, he hasn't been criticized for that. And I think that shows the kind of boss that Dana White is. He's like, hey, you be you. You be you. As long as it's not promoting any form of hate, but you be you in this league, right? I'm gonna back you 110%. If you're the number one champ, I would treat you like a champion. All right. Again, we can all agree to disagree with this. But what Stephen A. Smith is is explaining here, I mostly don't disagree with him. We do live in a world where a lot of people are pretty, PC with things, and they're hesitant. That's the wrong thing. No one should be punished for their political beliefs. They shouldn't. They should not. For Bosa to get fined 11,000, like I said, this was a rule I was unaware of until this day. I'm not aware if players, I think they did. I can't recall if players way back when Kaepernick first took a stance and it was players that was in agreement with him. I don't know if they got fined because it wasn't targeting a specific political party, but it was speaking on an issue that has to be dealt with in our legislatives, in our higher up federal office. But again, hey, if it's a rule, he broke that rule. If it's a rule, he broke that rule. But no one should address the celebrations. I mean, look, I do the dance sometime, and I'm no Trump supporter, but Lord knows I would never have never voted for this man. Don't care for this man, but guess what? He is gonna be our 47th president, and you have to respect the position. He won fair and square. I don't know how many times I gotta tell you guys this. He won fair and square. You can eat, however you want to, you have the right to call him whatever you want to call him. You can, just say, he would never be called my president. I would never call him, but that is your opinion. That's your prerogative. But I'm just giving you the facts. The man won. All right. I do think that the term woke has been so misconstrued and moved around from so many spots. Because at the end of the day, I always say, what's the opposite of woke? Sleep. I always address woke as staying informed. But I do think that it goes a little too far, especially with all. I mean, it's like I feel like every time you turn around, there's a protest for this, a protest for that, a protest for this, a protest for that. It's like, damn, do we protest everything? Like, it's literally always a protest. Sometimes we even joke about, say, hey, we're going be on strike, or we gonna protest this. I mean, people joke about it now because there's like so many protests. So it's just, hey, it is what it is. But I will say I do not fully disagree with what Stephen A. Smith had to say. I really don't. I think we're gonna continue to see some more changes in the NFL, especially now that Trump will be the next sitting president. I don't think they will criticize anybody that will, do another Trump dance, or will even sport a Make America Great Again hat after the pregame. I do not know. I don't know. But we will see, guys. We will see from there. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Let's see. Yep. Let me go ahead and digress from this story. Move it on. So here's an interesting story. So that Donald Trump is still in the process of he has pretty much nominated most of his people in his cabinet, pretty much a lot of folks, and I'll mention about them later on in the show. But there's one person that had been the most notable nominee, who is no longer nominee now, and that is former Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz, who at the time when he received that he was going to be nominated for Attorney General, he was just so confident. He's like, well, let me resign from my position in Congress, and I already know this is going to be in the bag. Now, little did he know, he was not going to receive the support from his own GOP, as well as the majority, due to his controversial court cases. And so he recently had withdrawn from the consideration process because he didn't want to be a distraction to the campaign or to the administration, which I think was a crock of bull. The man knew that it was going to be a battle that he was going to lose. All right. It was going to be a battle that he was going to lose. And he had no support besides the sitting president, who said he was going to stand with his pick regardless, which I thought was pretty ballsy from the president. Excuse my French, but if you have a guy that is facing some very graphic and off the wall allegations, as far as him having a relationship with the minor, with more than one, excuse me, and you're also a president who had been found liable in a sexual assault in a civil suit. You have another nominee in Pete Hegseth, he has a case that's coming back to life, or a story coming back to life. And then you also have Linda McMahon, who is the co-founder of the WWE, wife of Vince McMahon, who also is recirculating an old case from years past. I mean, it's just when you have all these individuals up here, it's just very like, whoa, what are you trying to prove here, sir? Not even including that Gaetz really wasn't qualified for this position. Yes, he's a practicing attorney, but he hasn't practiced law for in years. Okay, years. So I personally think America was not going to be on board with this guy. I mean, he gives off that I was a a bully in high school, or I thought I was cool, and just I don't know. It's just he gives off just a weird vibe, in my opinion. But as I mentioned, he recently withdrawn from the consideration, and it was announced that he will be joining the platform Cameo. He is charging $500 to make best spoke fan videos on Cameo. So, want to read a little bit more about this. Let me see here. Cameo, for those who don't know who Cameo is a platform where people send requests to celebrities. I mean, you've had what was the disgraced congressman that was basically expelled. George Santos, he was on there. Pretty like Exhibit is on there. I mean, so many celebs were really involved in Cameo. And again, you can share with them, hey, could you wish my mom or such and such a happy birthday? Could you say this? Could you say that? It's almost like having a conversation. But this mofo is charging $500 for fan videos. Now, what I think is, here's the funny part. I think, let's see here. Let me read this full story here. This is reported by Politico. There we go. So it says here that he is following in the footsteps of another Republican who left under a cloud of controversy by joining Cameo. So I already mentioned that guy. That gentleman's name was George Santos. Says here that Gaetz created an account on the app on which celebrities and other public figures can charge hundreds of dollars or more for personalized video messages. Says here, and I quote, it says, I served in Congress. Trump nominated me to U.S. Attorney General. That didn't work out. Once I fired the House Speaker, he reads the profile for the former Florida Congressman that's charging upward of $500 a video. Gaetz followed his one-time colleague, former representative Republican out of New York City, George Santos, who was expelled from Congress later last year after a scathing ethics report in his conduct in attempting to cash in on his fame on Cameo. Now, Santos, who lists himself as a former congressional icon, charges upward of 250 for his videos. I be damned. Like, here's the thing what pisses me off right now. These are people that were supposed to serve the people. These are people that were elected to serve us, and now they want us to serve them. From the get-go, if they serve, this right here just shows his true character and ethics, y'all. If he's so quick to join Cameo, you already know that he didn't care about y'all from the get-go. You resigned from Congress after so many folks have donated to your campaign, trusted in you, of taking care of their community, and now you're saying, well, look, in order for me to share just a simple happy birthday video, you got to give me a $500. Give me a man. There's a lot of words I want to say. There is a lot of words that I want to say. Now, see, it's different from a person that finished serving in office that will leave and possibly either start a podcast or start becoming a contributor on a network or anything like that. Because guess what? They're being employed by a company. They're being employed by a company. That's different from saying, okay, look, I want to charge you all the people. I've already asked you for your money to get me elected in office. Now I'm having you charge, give me your money for me to just say a few words to you. Man, get out of here. I'm not crazy about Cameo because I'm just not okay. You know how there's some celebrities out there that will not take a picture with you if you ask them. If you come across them and they be like, "Oh, can I have a picture?" They're gonna be like, "Oh no," because most of the times they want to charge you for pictures. They want to charge you. They will charge 25, 50, this and that and the other for a photo. I mean, come on. During the Chris Brown concert, excuse me, during the Chris Brown concert, he was charging what, like $1,000 to take get creative with any kind of picture with you backstage. I think that's quite off the wall, but I understand during the heat of that moment. But I feel as though, like, if you run into him and you grab a picture with him, he looks like a person that wouldn't charge you, like, to say, okay, look, selfie, I'm not charging with that. Like, no one should do that. But Gaetz he's just a tool, man. I'm sorry. He is just really, a classless human being. He's a typical MAGA alum. Okay, that's just what he is. He's a MAGA alum. Him alongside Margie Taylor Greene and Bobart. I mean, those cats are just the ones that are the diehard, always going to be the MAGA movement folks who not everybody within their own party enjoys their company. And I guarantee they were not disappointed when he said he's going to resign, and then also he withdrawn. So he's fully done with politics. He already mentioned that he was not considering Congress next year. There's other positions that will be available in Florida, because I know what's his name? Oh Jesus, what's his name? Marco Rubio has been tapped in to be the next Secretary of State. So he's a current U.S. Senator in Florida. So that means once he commits, and if the process moves forward and he will be held in that position, then that will be an opening seat in the U.S. Senate. So we don't know if that will be Byron Donalds. I always want to say Donaldson. Byron Donalds or Matt Gaetz. We don't know. It could be either one of those cats out there in Florida. But yeah, I just wanted to toss that up and mention that for you all. That the man with he has high eyebrows. Like, I feel like it looks like he got a facelift. He has like that villainous like appearance. Like he will play the ultimate bad guy in an action movie or in like a Disney movie or something. Let me go ahead and digress from that. Look, y'all, we're gonna take a quick commercial break. We'll have one more story before we leave, and then yeah, we'll get it going from there. Don't go anywhere. You are tuning in to the Arrington Gavin Show.
Order your beard care products with Rugged Evolution. We're your local beard care line that supports the maintenance of your full, mature beard. Our line includes conditioning shampoos, moisturizers, balms, oils, shaving lotions, and exfoliating soaps. These products moisturize, hydrate, nourish, and have all the natural ingredients for a healthy beard. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, family. Before we leave, look, I wanted to read this article. I thought was pretty interesting, and I think it just shows like the shift in our world through education and things that people, I guess, schools think this will, that's going to be a great curriculum for the future for for our students. So I'm reading this from Black Enterprise. It says here, Asafo, Dr. Wendy Asafo, named distinguished professor at Wesleyan University. Dr. Asafo will be introduced as the Sociology of Reality TV course. Sociology of Reality TV course. All right. Says here that she talked with Black Enterprise about the new exciting new appointment as a distinguished visiting professor at Wesleyan University. Now, the Real Housewife of Potomac star returned for season 9 and allowed viewers to watch her step away from her previous assistant professor teaching position at Johns Hopkins University to focus on her herself and her family. After some much needed R&R, Osafo is proud to announce her return to academia as a distinguished visiting professor at Wesleyan University, where she created a new course, the Sociology of Reality TV. The political commentator took the summer off with her family, and it was during her travels that, I don't know why my iPad keeps doing this. Took the travels that she had an epiphany on how she wanted to return to teaching. She said, I really wanted to teach a course in which I am able to marry my academic career with some of the work I'm doing now, and that is on reality TV. So I just started writing, and one sentence led to 2, and then led to 2 sentences, led to 4 pages. And then eventually I had all of these pages where I was like, I want to do a class. I wrote up a class, and it titled The Sociology of Reality TV. I think it's interesting. I'm not a fan of reality TV, so I'm curious to see how she's going to be explaining this. It says here that she designed an innovative new course from the ground up, derailing. Hold on, y'all. My freaking thing keeps on messing with me. Let me see if I can do this on my phone. Thank you for your patience, because we got it like maybe a little less than 5 minutes left. Okay, it says here that she designed an innovative new course from the ground up, delving into how reality TV both mirrors and shapes societal views on race and skin tone, as well as ethnicity in American culture. As Nigerian American television personality, progressive political commentator, entrepreneur, and award-winning researcher, Osafo offers a unique and a unique and multifaceted perspective on her new role. Her extensive experience includes frequent appearances on major networks such as CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, as well as her role as a veteran cast member on Real Housewives of Potomac, now solidifying her reputation as a trusted authority on political and social issues. After developing the coursework, it took no time to get the class picked up by prestigious institutions. I think it's kudos to the institution for presenting this, because I think, for one, you do have like your critical thinking courses that you will never predict that is like, you will never predict that you will be researching or learning this in school. I think they always have to toss in courses that will really gravitate and entertain students as well as grab their interest. Look, reality TV is something that is very attractive to young folks. Reality TV is one of the most watched programs in our world, especially on linear television. They've raised more viewership numbers than linear news platforms. So I think this was a plus. I don't think it was more of a gamble. I think it was a plus for the university. I think the way this professor is going to be presenting this course could change the perspective on reality television, because again, I'll tell you why I'm not a fan of reality TV. I feel as though reality TV is just full of drama. It's never anything positive that exists in reality television. It's a bunch of drama, guilty pleasures. This said this about this person, that said that about that person, and vice versa. It's dumb. You see grown-ass people fighting and arguing all the time. I'm not a fan of it. But one thing that just kind of I locked eyes on when I was reading about when she was developing this is how reality television both mirrors and shapes societal views on race, skin tone, and the ethnicity in American culture. All right, because majority of reality television, at least I'll just say like the Real Housewives shows and stuff, you have a lot of the most popular ones are usually the ones that consist majority of people of color. When it comes to the ratchet reality television, that consists of people of mostly color. I think it's now, as far as views on well, I've already said views on race and ethnicity. I just think it's interesting, because if it's a competition show, it's like, okay, you already try to judge, okay, the attitude or perspective that this person of color is going to bring on, or the one that's the preppy one, or they're probably going to be the snob, or they're going to be one's probably going to play the this one can't be trusted, and vice versa. So I just thought that was interesting. I wanted to share with you all, guys. Look, I am coming towards a close to this episode, but do me a favor, continue to tune into the Arrington Gavin show. We air weeknights. Okay, we air weeknights, available on all digital and streaming platforms, as well as our radio affiliate WDJY FM 99.1 FM Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m., as well as online at wdjyfm.com. So be sure to continue to support, tune into the program, follow us on social media. We'll truly appreciate it. Until then, my friends, y'all stay blessed, stay easy, stay safe out there. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll talk to you later next time on the Arrington Gavin show. Peace and blessings.